Alright everyone, we start off today talking about CNN Plus. It's not necessarily so much heavy-hitting news here as it's absolutely hilarious. CNN Plus launched a few weeks ago. It's a paid service from CNN, predictably. And basically you can pay for extra propaganda. If you're a real super fan of brainwashing yourself, you can hear extra bits by all of your favorite stuffed shirt, fucking hair plug wearing CNN pundits. You can see the goofball and the other goofball and the less talented goofball and so forth. About 10,000 people are using the service 2 weeks in. That is that their launch is so poor, is so much of a flop, like legendary levels of flop. It makes the launch of Truth Social look like smoother than butter. It makes Getter look like absolute geniuses. We've seen over the last year some difficulties with launching new ideas, and this happens all the time anyway within all industries, not just within the propaganda legacy media. But I can't think of one that's worse. When you're pouring that much money from that large a multinational globalistic network, CNN has a parent company, you realize it's worth 1,000 times more than even CNN is. When you have that kind of backing, and you have that kind of core initial audience, and you fail to even get into the six-figure mark as far as how many people are using it, like Fox launched a paid propaganda network. Theirs is doing fine and is, I guess, reasonably solvent. This is insolvency on a totally different scale. If you're dumping tens of millions of dollars into producing a deal for this, and you're like, hey, maybe at this rate, 15 years from now, it won't still be around by then, by the way, we might actually be turning a mild profit. It's like CNN, I mean, it's like NPR budgeting or something. 10,000 people a day. If I don't upload anything, I get more than 10,000 people watching my content in a day. Old content, some 10-year-old video randomly gets 10,000 views a day because someone posted on a website. The problem is really this. It's a poorly structured concept. The concept that you're offering people similar content that they already get for free and can interact with to an extent, by the way, cross-platform. And you're making them pay per month for the same basic concept, the same type of material. Who thought that this would be a good idea, especially for a network that's been quickly losing viewers anyway? CNN itself is a shell of what it used to be. It used to be one of the big networks. Now it's in such trouble as far as audience reduction because they've alienated everyone by lying repeatedly and telling them things that turn out not to be true over and over again every single day. How did you think that people were going to pay for that? How much money is that per month, by the way? It probably doesn't even pay the salary of one of the pundits making content there. So it's insolvent. Huge flop. Legendary levels of fail. Now, before I continue, keep in mind down below, if you're watching this video on YouTube, there will be links in a pinned comment to other sites that I use. Keep in mind I make exclusive video content every day. Although I just had a child, so some days there won't be any content at all, so you should check me out on one or more of those platforms. By the way, if I seem to be talking a little bit more loudly, my left ear isn't doing so well right now. I was trying to clear actually earwax out of it, and then, as is sometimes the case, it decided to go deeper. So take a little time. It's a big problem. I have some issues with that, especially when I'm not sleeping as much. Just had a kid and shit. Anyway, I find this hilarious because I'm thinking there are so many independent content creators that get more views than that each day. Many streamers, many one-off creators, like I can get tens of thousands of people to watch a Q&A live stream. But part of it is independent content creators have the advantage of people actually give a damn because there's interaction and the content's not astroturfed. With CNN, you know that it is. It's partially government scripted. There, Oliver Darcy, remember, bragged about taking marching orders effectively from the Biden admin on fiscal news. I'm sure MSN and a few of the other sites definitely have agreed to go along with it if you look at their coverage of yesterday's new 8.5% inflation number. By the way, to people criticizing me over that, I do realize the real inflation is in the double-digit range. I'm aware of that. I'm using the metric that is being used by the public, because otherwise some people say, well, that's not what the report says, and then I'll have additionally people bitching about it. So just for ease sake, an 8.5, even under the old calculatory system, is still not great. It's just it wouldn't be quite in recession mode. I think that we're basically there as we speak. And CNN, effectively, for years now, has been in decline. It's not even clear why they continue having a network. They've also lost a large number of the people at CNN who had talent, so to speak. Of course, Chris Cuomo's now suing the network because he's saying, hey, Don Lemon did crazy shit, and that dude who, I can't remember, Toobin was his name, the one that appeared naked on a Zoom call accidentally. I think really there's some exhibitionism going on there, but that's just my opinion. So, disclaimer, that's not a positive claim that's legally actionable, CNN. They're all being sued. My former employee. They're losing money anyway, and then they decided to do this. Oh, hey, we've got money problems and we're not retaining audience. What do we do? It's twofold. We start a plus network and hope people pay us for the stuff they're already turning off, and we'll encourage more censorship of independent voices. It looks like on Twitter it might go in the other direction. Elon Musk is poised potentially to do a hostile takeover there and actually fix the site for the first time in a half-decade. Although, again, don't get your hopes up. He is still a corporate billionaire. He's not a free speech warrior. He just happens to be very eccentric, and it'd probably be in his fiscal best interest at least to throttle back the censorship on his probable new site sometime. Hilarious. He should look into buying Instagram or something and do just as well at the paid propaganda. We're going to make people pay for lies instead of just giving them the lies for free. Why don't you just beg the Biden admin to structure some sort of deal that pays you under the table in order to subsidize you for a while your network fails? Why don't you just do that? They're already willing to pay a bunch of TikTokers to dance around and say stuff about Ukraine. They're already paying people to spin economic news. Why wouldn't they buy up a whole network effectively? You're already partially state co-opted to begin with. CNN is like the U.S. Pravda or TASS, the only difference being that they were capable of solvency. Mainly because their competitors were not allowed to function without thugs coming in and burning up the printing press, but I digress. I can't imagine who thought this was a good idea. Made for Fox, for a legacy network, of course, and I criticize them plenty. They're not much better than CNN. But at least there's enthusiasm among the people that watch the network. Their network's not dying out. Their loss of audience over the last few years is tiny compared to CNN. There's a retention there. Doing this kind of project doesn't make sense. It's like some creator who peaked in 2008 decides, hey guys, I'm launching a new subscription podcast service. Well, there's a chance that it works out if you suddenly develop new talent and new ideas, but generally it's probably not going to do very well. And you'll embarrass yourself. I don't know why you would try. They're doing the same thing. Basically, this is just, they've taken shitty podcast and now they've put a paywall on and they wonder why they're failing. They would be better off doing a plus style service for free and simply branching out onto new tech. They'd probably get more interaction, even if 99% of it would be criticism. That's about all. Peace out.